Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Guys, I just wanted to take a moment and go over some of the more recent news when it comes to what's been happening over the last couple of days. And of course, a lot of activity has actually taken place in the entire cryptocurrency market. We've had what seems to be a pretty decent bull run taking place. As you can see here, Bitcoin has actually just hit over $8,000. And of course, from what we're seeing, there's a substantial amount of movement still happening for Bitcoin. A lot of your top performing cryptocurrencies are still taking on a lot of that particular bull run as well. You can see that really your top performing coins are all in the green. XRP looking really nice at 32 cents. And of course, again, all the way down, you can see that this is pretty much affecting all your cryptocurrencies except for obviously Tether, where we're seeing quite a bit of volatility still happening with that particular currency. A lot of questionable things happening with that particular currency and also with Bitfinex, which it is linked to, but that is definitely something that requires a different video. Nonetheless, we are seeing some major bull rally runs taking place when it comes to, again, your top performing cryptocurrencies out there, and I'm very hopeful that we'll continue to see this. I would imagine that what's happening in the news is really helping out with this particular bull run, and I'm going to guess that what we're seeing as far as major developments for your top performing coins, but especially for XRP, because what Ripple's trying to do, making a use case out of that coin and its major developments, we're going to start seeing a lot more money piling into that particular digital asset for sure. And with all that being said, I'd just like to take a quick moment and go over some of the more recent news again and just a quick recap of what has been taking place. So to start things off, and of course keep in mind guys, this is just going to be a very quick recap, so I won't go too in depth with a lot of this news here, but we definitely heard about the Binance hack that took place. I actually talked about that in one of my last videos. Pretty substantial when it comes to what's happening for the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and interesting enough, with the Binance hack, we actually didn't see any real negative treatment for the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. As a matter of fact, what followed next was a very big bullish run that took place for your top performing cryptocurrencies, and of course Bitcoin being one of those top performing coins definitely excelled. And again, this took place right after the Binance hack of roughly around 7,000 Bitcoin, and there was definitely some controversy when it comes to that Binance hack there. You'll have to go in and look into that a little bit further, but of course CZ, the CEO of Binance, did come out talking about how the reorganization of Bitcoin could possibly happen. He had actually talked to several people that I would claim to be maybe some important people in the Bitcoin community, and after that particular little conference they had, they decided to not reorganize Bitcoin, but it created a pretty big scare tactic when it comes to those people who are investing in cryptocurrencies, because the idea that you could reorganize Bitcoin, it really just takes away from the idea of what Bitcoin was designed to do. And of course, going back and actually reorganizing the Bitcoin blockchain would absolutely give a lot less credibility to the cryptocurrency itself. Also, the idea that we could easily see a 51% attack on Bitcoin just simply because of China, for example, having the most amount of hash rate when it comes to mining Bitcoin. So again, a lot of scare tactics that have taken place when it comes to what's happening for Bitcoin, and of course of these exchanges out there, these top performing exchanges getting hacked. So again, we got to take these things with a grain of salt. We also got to keep importance levels there with us when it comes to our investments. If you're someone who is concerned about your cryptocurrency possibly getting hacked, I always suggest at the end of my videos to get yourself into a Ledger Nano wallet. That way you can actually protect your cryptocurrencies even more securely and actually have access to your private keys as well. Something else as far as this article is concerned, it did point out that Fidelity is to offer Bitcoin trading. Of course, Fidelity has also come out stating how we could possibly see in the very near future XRP trading just as well. Here we have another article that just goes a little bit more briefly in depth about the Fidelity investments, and of course them setting themselves up to offer clients XRP tokens as far as investments. Again, this will be right alongside of Bitcoin for sure, but it's funny that we're actually starting to see again Fidelity and the actual talk of XRP investments. This will be absolutely huge for those who are looking to get themselves into cryptocurrencies a little bit more long term as far as their investments are concerned. Again, Fidelity being one of those prominent names out there. Once this actually goes into effect, and you have BACT going into effect and ErisX going into effect, I'm going to guess that the actual bull runs that we were seeing seeing in the last couple days are just going to be very minuscule to what we're going to be seeing in the near future going into 2020. Of course, we got a lot of time to actually wait a lot of this out. A lot of this is all based off of speculation just as well. But as you can see, with these big name players out there, there's a strong focus when it comes to investors out there looking for names such as Fidelity and of course NASDAQ. And when you start seeing that being applied to the cryptocurrency ecosystem, it's absolutely going to intrigue a lot of people with a lot of money to get themselves into this particular ecosystem as far as it being considered an investment vehicle. So this right here is not investment advice, guys. I just want to let you know that things are happening on a scale that might be a little bit faster than what we were used to. And of course, with all this new development taking place, it could be even faster now that we're starting to see a lot of interest coming back into the cryptocurrency market. So again, some big movements taking place here. And just keep in mind, guys, when we get a lot of positive news, there's always going to be some sort of level of negative news there to try and counteract this particular movement that's happening for the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And just recently, we had a couple people coming out stating their negative sentiment towards cryptocurrencies. For example, we had Peter Schiff coming out stating that Bitcoin is a speculative vehicle for gambling. We have definitely heard that plenty of times. We've definitely heard recently that Warren Buffett is still talking ill will about cryptocurrency. We also had Democratic Congressman Brad Sherman coming out stating that Bitcoin should be banned. And of course, guys, especially with the heading of this right here, we could easily see that anytime some negative sentiment is happening for cryptocurrencies, what follows after that is maybe a little bit of a lull period. And then we start seeing cryptocurrencies picking back up again and people getting themselves invested into this particular ecosystem here. And keep in mind, this is a brand new ecosystem. Even though it's about 10 years old, the idea that we're starting to see more people jumping into this particular market, and we're starting to see people from Wall Street, these big name players, again, Fidelity, Backed, ErisX, all these particular entities are coming into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, it will change the entire game and the structure of what's happening. And that's when you'll start seeing a lot of money flooding into this market very fast. So again, a lot of negative sentiment happening, guys, from people that are still part of that traditional fiat and stock exchange system. But eventually that will change and it will be converted to digital. Majority of most everything will be converted into some sort of digital format, and that will take time, maybe even years. But guys, this is actually the start of this particular digital era that we're actually involved with. And so anybody who is an early adopter at this point in time has the means of actually being, substantially well off because of a later time frame of more money coming into the market and you just simply riding that wave. So again, keep in mind that we will start seeing even more negative sentiment coming out, but that's something that is coming with the territory when it comes to this new particular digital asset phase that we're dealing with. So things to keep in mind, guys. A couple other things I wanted to go over as well. Now, as most of you might know, there's definitely some tension between the United States and China right now, especially with the tariffs that the president has actually put against China. He's also come out recently stating that he's going to put new tariffs on China, which would definitely put a little bit of a stranglehold on a lot of the goods and services being bought through China. And of course, just recently as well, I believe as of today, there was a response from China stating that they plan on hiking tariffs on U.S. goods. And of course, again, this is coming after Trump's warning. So a lot of tension happening, but very interesting enough when it comes to Trump and of course the president of China, they are actually going to be meeting at the G20 summit that's going to be taking place here relatively soon. And I bring this up because we've definitely heard China definitely in the talks of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, especially understanding that they hold a majority of the hash power when it comes to the mining of Bitcoin. They actually have the highest risk of having a 51% attack on Bitcoin just because, again, of the amount of hash power that is actually in China. And of course, President Trump is someone who is also been immersed in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, at least getting to know what is taking place with the cryptocurrency market and being introduced to different types of technology when it comes to the distributed ledger technology, the blockchain technology. I've definitely heard of members of Ripple having connections with the Trump administration when it comes to educating them on what Ripple can do, and of course the digital asset XRP. So again, it's very interesting that we're seeing the president of the United States meeting up with the president of China at this G20 summit, and of course who knows exactly what is going to be talked about outside of their trade disputes. And if they happen to go into the realm of cryptocurrencies, for example, that could be a very interesting talk, again understanding the two different countries and their particular perspective on what what seems to be a particular cryptocurrency focus. Again, China having a strong focus on Bitcoin, and of course a lot of mineable coins, and then of course the United States president having what looks to be some involvement with other types of cryptocurrencies like XRP, for example. So things to definitely keep in mind, guys. A couple other things I wanted to quickly go over as well. Now, it's always something positive when it comes to more banks and financial institutions getting themselves immersed into this ecosystem. That just means that quite possibly more money is going to be able to be flooded into this market. But it's also very interesting when you start seeing banks and financial institutions starting to look at blockchain to convert really anything over into a digital format. Here we're seeing that the Royal Bank of Scotland and Barclays integrate blockchain to improve real estate transaction process. So what we're seeing is the possibility of real estate being immersed into the blockchain technology, again, for different types of transaction processes here. And this is just the beginning. When I said that really anything can, possibly be put into a digital format, well, really we're starting to see that being integrated right now. And I wouldn't be surprised that in the next 5 to 10 years, majority of what we know is already going to be converted over into some sort of digital format and being used as a means to pay and of course have information processed through the blockchain or the distributed ledger technology. Really, this right here is the way of the future, and this is what's happening. There's really no stopping this, even if you have people like the congressman stating that it should be outlawed. Well, we're really not seeing that happening, and it's just a matter of time before we start seeing the SEC jump in and actually making those regulatory claims, and of course giving us a little bit of a cushion to work with. Once all those regulatory clarities come through with the SEC, especially when it comes to XRP, we can then start seeing everything excel, and once that happens, I don't know if it's going to stop. That will be really a bull run that many people are going to probably miss out on, or at least see and jump in on the hype of it. A lot of crazy things are happening in this particular ecosystem, guys, and it's very fascinating, and it's really just an eye-opener when it comes to what's truly happening in this space and who it's actually attracting. So if the Wall Street people are actually looking at this right now, and people that are in the big banks and financial institutions, maybe we should all be looking at that as well. You need to follow the money and not necessarily always the full actions of everybody. Just follow the money where it's going, and you'll start seeing what's happening, especially in this cryptocurrency ecosystem. A couple other things. Now, I recently posted this on Twitter. This is an article talking about how Elon Musk is stating outright that paper money is going away. Now, this is something that we've definitely talked about on this channel, and it's been something that has been specified throughout the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. But to have someone like Elon Musk coming out talking about how paper money is going away, this is a good sign that we have people that are very brilliant, very smart when it comes to what's happening on the economic side of things, right alongside of different types of fintech technology, such as what Elon Musk has been working on outside of even Tesla. The idea we have a prominent name like this looking in the future and saying, hey, paper money is going away. We have already heard about this. There are already countries going cashless as we speak. There are people in Japan that are looking to have XRP, for example, the primary cryptocurrency to focus on when it comes to anybody visiting their country for the sake of the Olympics, to transfer and convert money back and forth. Again, that right there is a very, very big thing when it comes to a country looking to go cashless, and then they've already focused a lot of attention on a digital asset such as XRP. And now we're hearing Elon Musk talking about the fact that paper money is going away. Take all this in consideration, guys, especially when you have, again, those congressmen talking ill-willed about cryptocurrencies, Peter Schiff talking ill-willed about Bitcoin. That right there is a scare tactic, and they already know what's going to happen, just like Elon Musk knows what's going to happen as well. So definitely something to keep in mind, guys. And one final thing I wanted to leave you guys off with when it comes to encouragement is this particular chart here when it comes to performance from 2017's cryptocurrency bull run that took place. Guys, we're seeing a lot of development happening in the cryptocurrency space right now. And back in 2017, we saw a lot of speculation, a lot of hype come in, and that's where a lot of that money started flooding in. Really, it was all based off of hype and speculation. And if you look at 2017's biggest cryptocurrency ranked by performance, you can easily see that Ripple just simply dominated that market. Of course, we understand that it went from roughly around half of a penny all the way up to $3.50, give or take some change, but it definitely definitely had some of the best performance when it comes to, again, the ranking of all the other cryptocurrencies out there that were top performing rankers. And of course, you can easily see that Bitcoin was at the bottom. So the idea here is that if we start seeing more performance like this right here on our next bull run, and we already have seen major developments with Ripple, the company, we're seeing them with roughly around 200 plus banks and financial institutions as part of something that they've had as their development. And now we can easily see that right there having a major impact on the price of XRP. Just think about what will happen to that particular digital asset for the next bull run. Again, just something encouraging to think about, guys, when it comes to this kind of information and what's happening in this particular ecosystem. And of course, really the sky's the limit for any of these cryptocurrencies, but with the performance that we're seeing Ripple taking when it comes to, again, creating more banks and financial institutions as part of their RippleNet platform, this is absolutely something that will have a very big major impact on the price of XRP for the next bull run. Let me know what you guys think about that information in the comment section for sure. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe we'll see that kind of performance ever again with XRP. I personally think that we're going to see major performance from that cryptocurrency in the near future. But again, that's all based off of the information that I've researched personally. You let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Outside of that, guys, thanks again for watching. And if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. Share this content with everybody so they're all part of this early adopters movement happening for the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And of course, if you're looking to secure cryptocurrencies offline to have better protection, please take advantage of that Ledger Nano link in the description below. Outside of that, thanks again for watching, guys. Bye-bye.